Hi guys, today I'm going to show you my tool loadout, everything that I bring to the job site, minus some specialty power tools depending on what I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. So these are the tools in the bags that I bring to the job site. I've got my leather tool belt here, which I've already done a video on, so I'll go ahead and link that. I've got this big old stretched out bag that I use for all my bits. I've got this bag which I carry my laser and my phone charger in. I've got this little AWP bag which has my sockets and wrenches, and I've got this Husky tote bag. It's been with me since my first year, and it carries all the odds and ends that I know I'm going to have to use, but I don't need for a little bit. So I guess we'll get started. So this is my Husky tote. This is one of my first purchases as an apprentice. I don't really carry a whole lot in it. It's just the odds and ends that I might need. It sits in the gang box really. Start with this little bin, and in this bin I carry my writing utensils. I've got number 2 pencils. These are for writing in my notepad. I've got a wax pen. I like him for concrete. I've got Sharpie. This Sharpie pretty much writes on everything else, you know, wood, metal, if you need to on concrete. The Milwaukee ink saws are the best Sharpie you can pick up. I used to use the generic Sharpie, but it just doesn't cut it in the way that the Milwaukee does in a job site environment, so I definitely recommend picking those bad boys up. On the side here, I also carry 3-in-1. I specifically have silicone because I was using this in my drills as well. I'm not saying use it in your drills, but it's what I do. Keeps them running nice and smooth. I had the Milwaukee rule. My little pup decided that I needed 2, so I'm working with a 12er and a 5-foot. So I feel like it's alright, still works. Probably not going to replace it for a good while, but thanks, Theo. I've also got these Klein Allens. These guys are really nice. I do have to tighten it down every now and again, which is a little bit aggravating, but it is what it is. I should definitely get the smaller version. I've needed them, but I don't care to. There's a lot of other things that I want to pick up before those. So I'll get into the meat of the bag now. I've got a 12-inch extension for, you know, deep cans or deep holes or whatever. I've got the Milwaukee pliers here. I like these guys for nuts and bolts. Otherwise I use my channel locks. I've got basic set of crimpers. Every electrician needs crimpers. I don't really use them a whole lot, but everybody needs them. Wire strippers. As you can tell, I really don't use them a whole lot. These are blown up. I don't care. I don't like them. I don't care for wire strippers. You can use a knife. You can use pretty much anything that has a hole that's sharp. I carry this guy for whenever I've got to cut PVC or something that's all in a messed up corner, so you can't get a sawzall, can't get a bandsaw on there. So really works. Super useful in my opinion. I have your generic keyhole saw, but I don't keep it in my tool belt because hopefully they won't make me cut anything in if I don't have a keyhole saw on me. I've got a bunch of Milwaukee nut setters there, and I replaced the 1/4 inch with a snap-on. I like this guy a little more. He's just more comfortable to use, really. Got a hacksaw. I don't always carry a bandsaw with me, so just in case, I carry this guy. needle nose, Kneepex. I think that Kneepex is the best for pliers, but I just don't really use my needle nose a whole lot. But I still believe they should be quality. I've got dikes. I haven't used dikes in forever. I replaced them with Klein 1104s. If Kneepex had anything that was, you know, relatable, then we'd be talking. But I still have dikes just in case there are things that the Klein 1104s can't do that you just have to have dikes for. So here they are. Got a file in case you're doing big boy pipe. You know what I mean? It's a half moon. Super easy to just get in there. Just play with it. I don't carry a claw hammer. There have been a few times that I guess it could have been useful, but I just got in there with my dikes. I like a ball peen. For one, it's got more weight to it. It's a little smaller, so it's easier to fit in places. With the ball peen, you know, sometimes you might have to work metal, and that's specifically what this bad boy's for. So as a commercial electrician, I have definitely needed this guy a lot more than I've needed a claw hammer. I own a claw hammer for residential. I just don't really use it for commercial. Got a beater. This is the best beater if you ask me. It's Milwaukee. It's one piece all the way through. It's got a strike cap. I used to have the Klein Demolition, but that thing, it lasted about a year. And I think it was because of the fact that for when it was two pieces, it was the beater portion and the strike cap were two completely different portions. And the handle was just this gel that was kind of just holding the two pieces together, and that's not what Milwaukee did. Milwaukee took a different approach, and they really got it down. They also have, I don't know if you can see, it's square instead of round, so you can go ahead and get some pliers on there if you absolutely had to. I've got a whole set of insulated drivers, but the only ones that I take with me are your standard slotted and a number 2 Phillips. I don't even own a standard number 2 Phillips. I just don't really ever need it. So in this bag, I carry my laser. I also usually carry my phone charger, but at the moment I'm using it. It's the M18 power source, and I'm using a 5.0 on it. I have a Bosch, I believe it's a 2-axis laser. I like to use this guy for setting lighting and outlets, switches. It just makes everything a little bit more professional. You can also use it for conduit racks, just running, single conduit, parallel conduits, whatever. It also came with a couple different mounts. This is for steel studs, and this is for setting on the ground and whatnot. You can also shoot it into the wall or whatever if you had to. It's also got a little target. It just helps make things a little bit more accurate. I think I paid $230 for this guy at Home Depot, and I'm super glad I got it. I used to run things just kind of by eye or measuring and struggling with finding measurements that I felt comfortable with, but with this guy you can kind of just set it and go off of your line, which is way easier than constantly referencing the building. So in this bag I carry all of my sockets and whatnot. I've got a bin where I carry the actual bits, and it's weatherproof just as an added layer of protection so that they don't rust over. I've also got some bits so that I can attach them to my drill. As you can see, I don't have a whole big collection. This is a Husky. Haven't really used a whole lot, but it works for me. I think it was $30 at Home Depot. So this is a stretched out bag that I keep all my bits in. I'll just open it up real quick. So now that I got these guys all out, I'm going to go ahead and start with my Milwaukee impact rated drill bits. These guys are for metal. I love the fact that I can just throw these guys into my impact, not go hunting down my drill. I mainly use these guys for pilots, for bigger drill bits or screws and whatnot. I've also got this tap set. It's from Klein. Comes with 4 bits. It's 632, 832, 1032, and quarter 20. Going to use these guys for your devices, like your switches, your outlets, smokies. Going to use these guys, this 832 for your lights, 1032 for your paddle fans, maybe ground tails. You're going to use the quarter 20 for, all thread and whatnot. I've found myself using these guys a lot to fix my mistakes and others. Sometimes also you got to fabricate a little better mounting material, or just fix misaligned holes or whatnot. So it's definitely not something you need in a perfect world, but we don't live in one. Got the basic DeWalt drill bits. Use these guys with my truck drill, obviously, not those guys. These guys are great, to be honest with you. I think I paid $10 for them, $15 for them when they were on sale, and they work awesome. I know they're better quality that you can buy, but I mean, for what we do, I think this is just fine. So I picked up this case because it was $10 and it came with a bunch of bits in it. It's super nifty. I've since picked up some other brands, Makita Squares and Milwaukee #2 Phillips. Kept some of the original bits in here. I really like it. I mainly use the little 1-inch bits anyway. I used to use the 6-inch bits, but to be honest, for what they cost and for as long as they last, it's just not really worth it. So I really like this. I'd recommend having some sort of bit case. I've also got metal drilling bits in here, and also some wood drilling bits. So I've got 1/2-inch knockout, 1/2-inch knockout, 3/4. These guys are kind of at the end of their lives, so mainly use them in PVC, to be honest. This guy I think I'm just going to throw out. The pilot bit kind of went out on me, and I don't really feel like buying another one or looking for another one. Got some basic 7/8 bits in here, just drilling holes and wood studs and whatnot. I've got my old DeWalt set in here. I've also got a couple step bits that I got over time. Gotta keep them nice. One of those in there is just for PVC because it's on its last leg. Thinking about throwing it out, but for now it's working. Also got some little bits that I kind of found, I think. Got this big boy bin over here where I carry all of my impact bits. So I've got this lag tool here, all my nut setters. Those are impact, those are not. Got all of my extensions here, just little guys, big guys. use 6 inchers the most, but sometimes those little guys really come in handy. This actually came with this hole saw tool that I bought from Milwaukee. I don't recommend that. If you need a hole saw, buy the hole saw that you need. That's all I'm going to say. These are the bits that I'm working on right now, and I'll put them in whatever bit holder that I'm using. Got some ear protection there just for whenever I'm drilling and whatnot. This bad boy here just kind of gives your holes a nice little beveled edge so that your screw will sink tighter. And then I've also got these extraction bits. They come in handy. Once again, in a perfect world you wouldn't need them, but sometimes you just went in at an angle, or the guy before you just totally messed it up and just stepped away. Now you gotta fix it. So those are the bits that I've got. Thanks, guys. So those are the tools that I bring with me to work every day. I hope you guys liked the video, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.